The gift of sisterhood. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills, lived two sisters, Emma and Lily. They were as different as night and day. Emma was bold and outgoing, while Lily was quiet and thoughtful. Despite their differences, they shared an unbreakable bond, strengthened by years of love, laughter, and shared secrets. One summer, when the sun bathed their village in golden light, the sisters decided to embark on an adventure. They packed a small bag, filled with snacks and a blanket, and set out to explore the forest near their home. Emma led the way with enthusiasm, while Lily followed closely behind, her curious eyes absorbing every detail. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they discovered a small, hidden meadow that seemed untouched by time. Wildflowers bloomed in every color, and the air was filled with the scent of nature's perfume. Emma ran through the field, her laughter ringing out, while Lily sat on the blanket, marveling at the beauty around her. Despite her quiet nature, Lily's heart swelled with joy seeing Emma so carefree. After a while, Emma returned to Lily's side, lying down next to her and pointing out shapes in the clouds. "That one looks like a dragon," she said, and Lily smiled, imagining the mythical creature soaring through the sky. As the day turned into dusk, the sisters watched the sunset together, their hands clasped. The warm, orange glow of the setting sun reflected in their eyes, symbolizing the warmth of their sisterly bond. In that moment, they didn't need words, just the presence of each other was enough. A few months later, life threw the sisters an unexpected challenge. Their father fell ill, and their mother had to work extra hours to keep the family afloat. Emma, always the energetic one, took on the responsibility of caring for their father, making sure he had everything he needed. Lily, though quieter, found ways to help by bringing small comforts like reading to him or making him tea. Despite the difficulty of the situation, the sisters supported each other. On the hard days, Emma would cry, and Lily would gently hold her, whispering, "We'll get through this together." And on the days when Lily felt overwhelmed, Emma's smile reminded her of their strength. Their father eventually recovered, and life slowly returned to normal. But the bond between the sisters had grown even stronger, rooted in the love and care they had shown each other during that difficult time. Years passed, and the sisters went their separate ways for a while. Emma to a bustling city to pursue her dreams, and Lily to a quiet town where she became a teacher. But no matter the distance, their connection remained. They called each other every week, sent letters filled with memories, and always made time to visit each other. During the holidays, one year on Lily's birthday, Emma surprised her with a visit. "I've brought you a gift," Emma said with a grin. She handed Lily a small, wrapped package. Inside was a locket engraved with the words, "For my sister, my best friend, my heart." Tears filled Lily's eyes as she put the locket around her neck. "I love it," she whispered, pulling Emma into a hug. "And I love you." As the years went by, the sisters found themselves building their own families, yet they remained just as close. Emma, now a mother of 2 lively children, would often visit Lily, whose calm and nurturing spirit made her a favorite aunt. The children adored their time in the countryside with Aunt Lily, who would take them on nature walks and teach them the names of plants and animals. One summer, Emma's children asked their mother about her childhood with Aunt Lily. Smiling, Emma told them the story of their adventure in the meadow, the same story that had brought them closer so many years ago. The children were captivated and begged to visit the meadow. The next day, the sisters and Emma's children set out on the familiar path to the hidden meadow. When they arrived, the place seemed unchanged, as if frozen in time, still brimming with wildflowers and the soft hum of nature. Emma's children ran ahead, their laughter echoing in the air, just like Emma's had so many years before. Lily, now holding a walking stick, smiled at her sister. "Seems like just yesterday we were here," she said softly. Emma nodded. Some things never change. They sat together on the same blanket, watching the children explore. As the sun began to set, casting a familiar golden glow across the field, Emma and Lily once again clasped hands, just like they had done all those years ago. As they watched the sunset, Emma suddenly pulled out something from her bag, a small wrapped package. "I have another gift for you," she said with a smile, reminiscent of the one she had given years ago. Lily opened it to find another locket, but this time it held a picture of the 2 sisters from their childhood, laughing together in the meadow. Lily's eyes filled with tears as she looked at the picture. "I'm so lucky to have you, Emma." Emma squeezed her hand. "I'm the lucky one." They sat there in peaceful silence, knowing that while time may pass and life may change, their bond as sisters would remain forever strong. As the years rolled on, Emma and Lily grew older, their hair streaked with silver and their steps a bit slower. Yet the bond between them never wavered. They had weathered the storms of life together, laughter, loss, joy, and pain, but always with the comfort of knowing they had each other. One autumn afternoon, as the leaves turned vibrant shades of orange and red, the sisters decided to revisit the meadow once more. This time, both of them leaned on walking sticks, their steps slower but filled with the same sense of adventure they'd carried as children. When they reached the meadow, they were surprised to find it just as beautiful as ever. Time had not dimmed its beauty, and the wildflowers still bloomed brightly. The golden afternoon sunlight bathed the meadow in warmth, casting long shadows as the sun began its descent. They spread their familiar old blanket on the ground, sat down, and gazed out at the peaceful scene before them. There was a serenity in the air, the kind that only comes with years of life well lived and memories treasured. Emma, her voice softer with age, looked at Lily and said, "Do you remember the first time we found this place? I was running wild, and you were sitting here, quietly watching the clouds." Lily chuckled. "I remember. I've always liked watching you run, though. You've always been the wind, Emma. And I've always been the one to enjoy the breeze." Emma smiled at that. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small folded piece of paper. "I wrote something for you, Lil. Something I've been meaning to say." Lily, surprised, took the paper and opened it. Inside was a simple poem Emma had written. "For my sister, my heart, my soul, with you I've always been whole. Through laughter, through tears we've made our way, and I love you more with each passing day." Tears filled Lily's eyes as she read the words. She looked up at Emma, her heart full. "You've always known what to say, Emma." As the sun began to set once again, the sisters sat together in silence, their hands clasped as they had done many times before. The golden light bathed their faces, and for a moment it felt as if time stood still. Two sisters, side by side, as they had always been. With the sun dipping below the horizon, Emma softly whispered, "No matter where life takes us or what happens next, we'll always have this. We'll always have each other." Lily nodded, her heart full of love. "Always." As night fell and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Emma and Lily remained in the meadow, wrapped in the warmth of their memories and the love they shared. The cool evening breeze rustled the wildflowers, and the scent of nature filled the air, reminding them of all the times they had spent together in this special place. Emma sighed softly, leaning back against the blanket. "It's funny, isn't it? How life goes by so quickly. One moment, we're children running through these fields, and the next, we're sitting here watching the stars." Lily smiled and nodded. "But no matter how much time has passed, I've never felt alone. I've always had you." A silence fell between them, but it was the kind of silence filled with understanding, the kind only shared by those who have spent a lifetime together. Above them, the stars shimmered, and the moon began its slow ascent, casting a silver glow over the meadow. The sisters stayed in the meadow until the moon was high in the sky. As the night grew cooler, they knew it was time to head back. Slowly they gathered their things, but before they left, Lily turned to Emma. "Wait," she said, pulling out a small old journal from her bag. It was a journal she had kept since they were children, filled with stories, memories, and thoughts. Lily flipped through the pages until she found what she was looking for. "It's something I wrote a long time ago," Lily explained, "but I never shared it with you." She began to read aloud. "In every laugh, every tear, in every moment, far and near, you've been the light that guides my way. My sister, my friend, every single day." Emma blinked back tears, her heart swelling with love and gratitude. "Why didn't you ever share that before?" she asked, her voice cracking just a little. I didn't need to, Lily said softly, closing the journal. You already knew. As they made their way home, walking slowly under the starlit sky, Emma and Lily knew that no matter what happened, they had shared something rare and beautiful: sisterhood. They had faced life's challenges, joys, and sorrows together, and their bond had only grown stronger with time. And though their journey was slowly coming to its twilight years, they knew that their love would live on through the memories they shared, the words they spoke, and the hearts they touched. As they arrived back home, Emma turned to Lily one last time before heading inside. Good night, Lil, she whispered. I'll see you in the morning. Lily smiled. Always, Emma, always. And with that, they went inside, their hearts full, their spirits lifted, and their bond as sisters everlasting. As the years passed, the meadow visits became less frequent, yet the memory of those precious moments remained deeply rooted in Emma and Lily's hearts. They both grew older, and while their steps slowed even more, their love for each other remained as vibrant as the wildflowers in their beloved meadow. One spring afternoon, after many quiet winters had come and gone, Lily sat by her window, watching the sun filter through the trees. She smiled at the memory of the countless afternoons she had spent with Emma in the meadow. Emma, who had always been her light, but anchor, and her best friend. Lily's children and grandchildren had gathered for the weekend to visit her. As they played in the yard, she felt the warmth of family surrounding her. But there was a part of her that longed for the days when it was just her and Emma, sharing the simplicity of sisterhood. Later that day, one of Lily's grandchildren, a young girl named Emily, sat beside her and asked, "Grandma, can you tell me more stories about Aunt Emma?" Lily smiled, her heart swelling with love at the mention of her sister. She reached for her old journal, the one she had shared with Emma all those years ago. The pages were worn, but the memories within them were still vivid. "Of course, dear," Lily said, flipping through the pages. "Your Aunt Emma was the most adventurous soul I ever knew. She made every moment feel like magic." Emily listened eagerly as Lily told her about their childhood adventures, their secret hideaways, and the meadow they loved so dearly. Emily's eyes widened as Lily described the field of wildflowers, the sunsets, and the stars that had watched over their quiet moments. "Can we go there, Grandma?" Emily asked, her voice filled with curiosity. "To the meadow?" Lily's heart skipped a beat at the thought. She hadn't been back to the meadow in so long, and while her body was frailer now, the idea of one last visit filled her with a gentle yearning. "I think that would be wonderful," Lily said softly, her eyes shining. The next day, with the help of her family, Lily returned to the meadow. It was just as she remembered, blooming with flowers and bathed in sunlight, as if time had stood still. Emily ran ahead, laughing just like Emma had once done, and Lily could almost hear the echo of her sister's joyful voice in the wind. Lily found a place to sit, and as she watched Emily play among the flowers, she felt Emma's presence beside her, as if her sister had never really left. The meadow, which had always been their special place, now became a place where Lily could pass on the stories and love she had shared with Emma to the next generation. As the sun began to set, casting its golden light across the field, Lily closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She whispered a soft farewell to her sister, knowing that Emma would always be with her, in the meadow, in the stars, and in her heart. And as the day came to an end, Lily looked at Emily, who now stood at her side, holding a small wildflower. Emily smiled, and in that smile, Lily saw a glimpse of Emma's adventurous spirit. "Remember this place, Emily," Lily said, her voice full of warmth. "This is where love lives. It's where your Aunt Emma and I shared our hearts, and now it's where I share mine with you." Emily nodded, her eyes wide with understanding. "I will, Grandma. I promise." As they left the meadow one final time, Lily felt a deep sense of peace. She knew that the love she and Emma had shared would live on, not just in her heart, but in the hearts of her children and grandchildren, forever blossoming like the wildflowers in the meadow. And so the story of two sisters who had journeyed through life together was passed down, a legacy of love, laughter, and an unbreakable bond that spanned generations.